Where do you begin breaking that game down? Ireland against South Africa in Dublin has just finished, and it was cinema. I can't decide whether it was a comedy at times or a tragedy or just an action epic. I think probably the latter, to be honest. Oh, dearie me. Join me in trying to make sense of that 80 minutes. So much to get into, so much to talk about. And I thoroughly enjoyed that 80 minutes. I think I enjoyed it. No, I did definitely enjoy it. Spoiler alert, here comes the score, which finished in Dublin, Ireland 13, South Africa 24. Please leave your comments down below. Do you know what? So the whole point of this is the final whistle has just blown, and I'm jumping on with my emotions and my thoughts just right here. And I'm just going to spill it out, splurge it out onto the channel. And that's what I want from you in the chat down below. We can kind of make a little bit more sense and be a little bit more rational and calculated later. Let's just lean into the emotion a little bit. And there was so much in that game. A match that was theatre, cinema, bordered on pantomime at times. And at times, a bit of a disaster of a rugby match. And at other times, just peak rugby union. I'm not entirely sure it's the game anyone really wanted, but I kind of love it. And there's a few things that I am in awe of. I am in awe of the power of South Africa. It is on another level. It's on another level. And I'll definitely get into that. I'm also in awe of the heart of Ireland. To have had that match and only lose by 11 points and finish the game with a genuine opportunity to close it to a 4-point game. It speaks to just incredible levels of heart for Ireland. Discipline, absolutely shocking. On the other hand, I'm also in awe of South Africa's fight as well. That goal line stand at the end, just saying, no, we've won the game already, but we're not giving you anything. No quarter given. One of the stories of this is absolutely going to be the discipline, officiating decisions, and I will get to that. There is so much rugby to talk about. I think an Irish implosion is how I would... Psychological implosion is one side of the coin on that. The flip side of the coin is the incredible levels of pressure that South Africa put upon Ireland. They forced Ireland into lots and lots of errors and heads gone at times. It was amazing. And I mean, you know that Oprah Winfrey thing from her show back in the day? You get a car, you get a car, you get a prize, you get a prize. Today it was Matthew Carley, or should we call him Matthew Cardy? You get a card. No, you get a card, you get a card. That was a record. It either equaled or broke the record for the number of cards in a test match. And they almost all went to Ireland. In fact, did they all go to Ireland in the end? I can't remember now. Such a blur. But despite being men down, multiple men down at times, Ireland just, a remarkable game. And it's commendable that they were even in the game for as long as they were. Let's just talk about that scrum for a second. Firstly, I wonder how deep are the scars going to be for Ireland. If you are Tyg Furlong, who's been around the block many times, if you are Andrew Porter, who has been operating at the top level of the game, do you ever get over that 80 minutes? Getting marmalised, getting twisted inside out. I suppose you could say the same for Paddy McCarthy, although he might just put it down to experience and let that be a lesson for a long future that he's going to have in that Ireland jersey, you would feel. But there's going to be some 1,000-yard stares amongst that front row for Ireland. And I mean, almost thank goodness they don't have a game next week, because if you were a coach, what do you do to combat what South Africa bring? And the flip side of that is, how unbelievable is it? You feel like finally we've had a prop nominated for World Player of the Year. First one ever, about time, like decades overdue. But no ox, no problem. And it's when you watch that South African scrum, the way it moves as one. It's like one single organism, the way it all dips at the same time. and then the like everyone doing a deadlift 1 rep max all at the same time. It's an absolute thing of beauty. So I would just say, Ireland, well done to that pack for digging in there. No salads till the Six Nations. No salads till the Six Nations. I couldn't believe it was 12-7 when Dan Sheehan went over for that try. Dan Sheehan and Caelan Doris, by the way, absolutely immense. I thought one of them, or possibly Tyg Byrne, should have been nominated for World Player of the Year. I mean, Caelan Doris, what a player. What a player. I mean, right, so let's be real. In some respects, that was a really poor advert for rugby, wasn't it? And in other respects, it was absolutely compelling. I still haven't, because it's so fresh in my mind, and I'm going to go back and watch it, let it digest a little bit. I can't decide if I hated it or loved it. It's somewhere in between the two. I know I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed the absolute brutality of that game from both sides. And look, let me just jump to the first minute of the game. My immediate thought I had was, this is elite quality on show, because you had, like, it's Ireland going for the long passes early, getting it to James Lowe, good kicks, Sasha FM with a booming kick, then Sam Prendergast with a step and go. It was like, this is quality rugby, and that was followed up by Damien Phillips's amazing finish. I am going to come to all the discipline and disciplinary issues, don't worry. But I don't want to make it all about that rant. I'd rather leave that till the end, if that's all right. A brilliant attack. Fantastic finish by Phillips. Given all of the TMO intervention we've seen, I was surprised they didn't at least check whether that was a forward pass from Peter Steph du Toit. Looked a bit forwardish, but I'm fine. Benefit of the doubt. Let's call it flat. And Try scored a brilliant try. Bit of handbags. Sasha FM coming in with the shoulder. Gary Ringrose taking exception to it. It all flared up. And I was thinking at that point, I don't know about you, not another red. We don't want another red, because that's going to be the story of the game. Little did I know what was going to happen in the next 20 minutes of the match. Penalty only, eyebrows raised. I will come to the officiating decisions in a little bit. Let's just say, I can understand how... no. Matthew Carley probably made a rod for his own back with that decision. Thomas du Toit, brilliant goal line turnover. Then he absolutely munched Ireland at the scrum time, which was an ominous sign. South Africa's quick press against Ireland, trying to get it out the back. Then there was a big moment. Sam Prendergast, this was one of the biggest moments of the game. Sam Prendergast misses the penalty, hits the post. Ireland regather. They go through and score. Tyg Byrne, but James Ryan has the try chalked off because of a yellow card, which looked lucky to be a yellow. It was upgraded to a 20-minute red. No complaints here. It was so stupid of James Ryan. And, yeah, he's going to be feeling like he's really let his teammates down, because, I mean, that was a massive swing moment in the match. Not only chalked off a try for Ireland, took them down a man for 20 minutes, at least one man for 20 minutes, and a guy in the engine room that they were going to be struggling. Ryan Baird goes off later on. So such a stupid call from James Ryan. And as much as, and I'll come to the officiating decisions at the end, but my comment to Irish fans would be, before you complain about the ref, have a look at what your players did. Some of the absolute brain-dead calls they made. James Ryan, that one, being a prime example. Jack Crowley being another. I just felt sorry for Paddy McCarthy and Andrew Porter on their yellows, I'll be honest. South Africa get a try, disallowed. This time, forward pass spotted. South Africa turning the screw at scrum time. I absolutely love 5-metre scrums. Don't you? I love 5-metre scrums. They are just cinema. And because of the whole held up over the line thing, you just do not see enough of them. Tommy O'Brien could have been given another card. He went high, illegal. I mean, that's the bad thing. He went high. It was illegal. He lost the contact, got absolutely smashed by Moody, and he had to go off with an HIA as well. I mean, that's a pretty humbling little combination. And the pressure told with a Reinach try, 12-0 down to 13 men. You're thinking, right, Ireland are in trouble here. It's going to be floodgates open. But Dan Sheehan and Ireland wrestle back territory. Dan Sheehan scores. Absolutely amazing. And obviously Ireland fans have been talking about, should it be Sam or should it be Jack? Well, how about neither? Because Prendergast was off with a yellow card. And then Jack Crowley with a really stupid decision to just, in the middle of a ruck, reach out and grab Cobus Reinach's arm. Such a stupid decision. Totally cynical. Deserved a yellow card. I also wonder whether there was a penalty given for cynical play and a deliberate knockdown for South Africa a moment ago, a moment before. And again, maybe if Ireland fans, they may have felt like that was worthy of a yellow as well. But I'll come to all that in a minute. And that was half time. So let's just take a break for a minute and remind you that I'm going to be in Cardiff next week. And if you're going, come along to Walkabout before the game. Have a proper build up to the match. Come and get breakfast. Come and get a free drink on entry. And come to join me and my guests at Walkabout, a stone's throw from the Principality Stadium. And tickets via the link in the description. And then you get free entry afterwards with a wristband. Queue jump, no cost to get in. Just walk past the big queue of people trying to get in and get yourself straight in for the post-match as well. And I will say as well, thanks to Thatcher's, I've got my Saturday evening sorted. And they're sorting everyone that comes out with a free draft pint on arrival. So there you go. You're sorted. So for your ticket, free drink, great build-up, good crowd, and then free queue jump in the game afterwards. It's almost a no-brainer. So click the link in the description. I'll leave it in the comments as well. Let's talk about this game a little bit. Second half. Scrum. Absolutely marmalising Ireland. Sasha FM ghosts in. I mean, just when he's in full stride, he is just something else. He's just rapid. 24-10. And this was the moment I thought, right, well, finally, now the down men, players off the pitch, the scrum's getting absolutely hammered. And just like if you've ever played in a game when the scrum is massively on top or massively getting humped, it's not just the fact that it wins you penalties and that wins you points and territory and all the rest of it. It's the psychological impact it has on a rugby team. It's massive. You suddenly get really scared to knock the ball on. Or if you're the attacking side and you know, if we knock it on, we're probably going to win a scrum penalty and be 50 metres further up the pitch. It gives you so much confidence. And with that being the context, when it was 24-10 to Ireland, the fight that they showed at that moment, the turnovers on their own line, the fighting to get to the other end, taking the 3 points, it was inspirational, honestly. And you can win games and you can lose games. And South Africa, I mean, what a team. You just got to take your hat off to them. But Ireland, the way they played in the second half to keep South Africa to that one score, despite all the adversity they were under, I just thought it was absolutely inspirational. McCarthy and Beelum came on for that 5 minutes, and it was Ryan Baird had to hobble off, so they were without a specialist lock. Cian Prendergast in there. There was one after 2 reset scrums and I think a couple of penalties. There was one moment where they cut to the ref cam and you saw Matthew Carley, his ref cam, and you saw Paddy McCarthy just like turn to the ref and smile. I think it was almost like he'd gone, I'm just going to do my best. But 3 scrum pens later, yellow card, you're back off the pitch, Paddy. On comes Andrew Porter. I mean, I that's probably the worst thing. That's not what these guys that go out and play rugby at international level. These are like alpha males, tough human beings. It's probably the worst thing they could possibly hear. That I felt sorry. I felt sorry for the Irish props. I felt sorry for them, and I was just thinking, how are they only 11 points down? Yeah. And then there was that mad moment where James Lowe looked like he'd found an edge. Colby with a brilliant charge down. I mean, you hardly saw Cheslin Colby the whole game, did we really? Which is mad given the amount of ball South Africa had. Jack Crowley with wheels. It was like 7s for a couple of minutes. We thought Sneeman had got a yellow card on his 50th appearance, but actually he came back on because Josh van der Fleer was already in touch. And then we had the goal line. We had the goal line stand, and there you go. That was the game. Shall we talk about the discipline? Because this is going to be the big talking point. But I wanted to leave it till the end because there was so much rugby to talk about, so much to admire, so much worthy of conversation that I wanted to leave this to the end. But fine, let's talk about the officiating decisions. The crowd, the way they booed Matt Carley. I've almost called him Matt Cardy again. Matt Carley like a pantomime villain. I imagine the chat in the pub is going to be, the referee ruined that game. Referee ruined it. So I'll say a few things on this. Firstly, Does maybe this give a little bit of evidence that there is no conspiracy against South Africa with the last couple of weeks of red cards? I think what I said after the Franco Mostert red card, which I did a whole video, which you may have seen, which was like, that was a crazy decision. It will be rescinded, which it was. I don't understand how the referee and TMO arrived at that decision in the first place, but there we go. That was another conversation. But one thing I did say last week was, it's not a conspiracy, it's incompetence. There's one phrase: never attribute malice where incompetence might explain it. It usually is incompetence. And it was, I think, with the last couple of weeks. And these things do even themselves out. And if there was any rub of the green today, it went South Africa's way. But then on the flip side, I'm saying to Ireland fans, I don't think you should be complaining about your cards, because just look at them. I think they were all pretty much legit. I think the one place that Matthew Carley has arguably, and it's only arguable, left himself open, is that he didn't give a yellow card to Sasha Feinberg-Ngomazulu early in the game, which probably that's going to be the one gripe that Ireland fans have. How come he gave him just a penalty only, but James Ryan got a yellow card upgraded to a 20-minute red? And I can see that argument, but equally I'd just be looking at James Ryan and going, before you talk about a referee, think about how stupid that was of James Ryan. Maybe Sasha FM was a little lucky on this one, but this is what I say. You get the rub of the green sometimes. These decisions, they even themselves out. And I would say the same thing to Ireland fans. And you could also, to Ireland fans, I'd say, you also could be quite lucky that Tommy O'Brien didn't get a yellow. And that was a penalty only. So there was a level of consistency across the 80 minutes from the referee. And Matthew Carley had nothing to do with the decision that Jack Crowley made in that breakdown. So, oh yeah, and also maybe Ireland got the rub of the green with no yellow card for the penalty try on the stroke of half time. There might have been an argument that another prop should have been given a yellow card, and Ireland could have gone down to 11 men or whatever it would have been at that time, maybe back down to 12. So I think it's really easy to just point at the officials first before you point at the officials. And this is what you would have to do if you're a team. I absolutely guarantee that Andy Farrell, before he's tapping anyone on the back going, yeah, referee did us dirty there, he'll be saying, James Ryan, you can't do that. Like, you need to learn that lesson. Jack Crowley, what were you playing at in that breakdown? And that's what a good coach and good players will do. They'll take ownership of the things that they could have controlled. And most of the cards, maybe all of the cards, I can look at and go, yeah, I don't disagree. I think they were correct. The only argument you could have is that maybe there should have been more cards. So unfortunately, I think Matthew Carley and the officiating is going to be the story of this game. I don't think it is the story of this game. I think the story of this game is the unbelievable, like, elite levels I've never seen before, levels of power and relentless set piece dominance from South Africa, who they've taken that to a whole nother level. Whatever Dan Human is doing, or whatever it is they are feeding these Boks, everyone else needs to get on that. Just get on it, because it is frightening. It is frightening. So that's the one story of the game. I actually thought South Africa's backs were a little bit wasteful, maybe a bit predictable. Dialende and Creel didn't really do a lot. We didn't see very much of Cheslin Colby. So they can improve. Another story of this game is the heart of Ireland in the face of all that adversity and all of their own mistakes. Incredible heart. Admirable heart. So, yeah, loved it. Those are my thoughts. Quite a few. Like I say, all off the top of my head. I'd love to know yours, and I'll be back for a more considered, reasoned breakdown of that mad game soon enough. I'll see you on the next one.